Good afternoon from me, ladies and gents. Welcome, race fans, to Donington Park for the second weekend in a row here on BARC TV. We were here for a one-day meeting last weekend, for the full 2 days this weekend, because it is one of the biggest events of the summer. It is Convoy in the Park. Yes, we've certainly got ourselves a convoy here at Donington Park this weekend as we celebrate all that is great and good about trucking and truck racing. Dave Goddard here as always to take you through the action here on BARC TV as we get ready for our first truck race of the weekend, sponsored by Hexagon Leasing. This race number one of the weekend. The trucks are already being led away from the grid by the pace trucks. I'll quickly take you through the grid then. Division 1 first. It's Ryan Smith, the 6-time champion, and number 1 on pole alongside number 89 Simon Reed. Second row 7 Stuart Oliver and number 18 John Newell. Third row 81 Mark Taylor and number 12 Michael Oliver. Row 4 69 David Jenkins. He's got a 3-place grid penalty for contact in the previous round at Thruxton. Starts alongside number 86 of Tom O'Rourke. Row 5 95 Ricky Collett alongside 3 of Stephen Powell, the reigning Division 2 champion. Former Division 2 champion, I should say. Row 6 is the reigning Division 2 champion, Craig Reed, alongside number 41, Simon Cole. Good to see him back out and into Division 1 for the first time, his first appearance of the season. And number 92, Simon Faulkner, rounds out Division 1. Then a gap, and we've got the Division 2 trucks. 42, Luke Garrett heads them, alongside 16, Brad Smith. Second row for them, number 6, John Powell. And welcome back, 22, Paul Rivette in the Napa Auto Parts MAN. Then number 5, Adam Bint, another driver with a 3-place grid penalty for contact in the previous round at Thruxton, starts alongside 10 of Craig Evans, and number 14, John Bowler, and 32, Jock Borthwick, round out the grid. This race sponsored by Hexagon Leasing, award-winning nationwide contract hire, rental and fleet management provider. Boasting more than 20 years experience in the industry with more than 10 locations around the country, Hexagon has a vehicle to suit every operation, no matter what its shape or size. Pace truck pulls into pit lane. The convoy makes its way down towards the start lights. Lights out, and here we go with truck race number 1 this weekend. Ryan Smith on the inside, Simon Reed in the Iveco on the outside, tucks in, tries to go across to the inside line, but it'll be Flying Ryan who leads the way into the first corner of Convoy in the Park, 20-22. John Newell runs a bit wide over the curb, so does David Jenkins. There's Simon Cole with his new MAN, number 41. Division 1 all-round Redgate's okay for the first time. It's Ryan Smith with a clear lead. Stuart Oliver's come through into second place in the number 7 in the background. Division 2 are underway. Down towards the old hairpin come the Division 1 leaders. There's Division 2 led by Luke Garrett. Simon Faulkner running wide there at the back of the Division 1 field. He was struggling in qualifying a little as well. Division 2 coming through the old hairpin. It was Luke Garrett from pole position, the points leader, the former Division 2 champion leads. Brad Smith's already got some damage. He's had some contact, and somebody hasn't come through. The number 6, I think, is missing, of John Powell. There he is, just coming through the dust cloud at the back there as Division 1 barrels its way through Coppice Corner. Kicking up a bit of dust on the inside there was Tom O'Rourke in number 86. It's Ryan Smith from Stuart Oliver, the 2 bonneted trucks at the front of the field. Simon Reed, number 89 on his local circuit, the man from Stoke-on-Trent in third place. Then we've got John Newell, Mark Taylor, Michael Oliver, David Jenkins, Ricky Collett. Good to see him going well, the heavy haulage company owner from Yorkshire. And there's Simon Cole, number 41, his familiar pink and white livery. Used to race the Mercedes, supported by Team Hard in Division 2, the Mercedes Beast as it was known. Now switching to an MAN, he's side by side with Tom O'Rourke, Scotsman. There's Division 2 in the background, headed by Garrett, ahead of Brad Smith. Behind them in third place is Adam Bint. He was another man with a grid penalty for contact in the previous round in the black Volvo white Aerodyne. Further back we've got the Division 2 boys. Here comes Adam Bint attacking for second place. Certainly a fan favourite, the Oxfordshire driver in the number 5 machine. He's got John Bowler, number 14, that hand-painted Union flag liveried DAF up there behind him. Ryan Smith leads down the Craner curves, more dust being kicked up in the background. You'll notice that the Orange family, the marshals, have moved back off their posts for safety reasons in this race. To 1/3 race distance. This first race of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship, sponsored by Hexagon Leasing here at Donington Park. Stephen Powell, number 3, the man from Kent, lives literally just down the road from the Brands Hatch circuit, putting Craig Reed under pressure. Division 2 field heading into the Craner curves. We'll see them come through in the background. Still Luke Garrett. He's on the tail of Simon Faulkner in the Division 1 truck there. Brad Smith still second. Adam Bint third. And John Bowler fourth. It is still Ryan Smith who leads overall. There he is through Coppice ahead of Stuart Oliver. Simon Reed going well in third. The 89 Iveco. The Reed Freight run machine. Still Simon Reed third. Here comes David Jenkins, the 69. The Digraph Transport and Morris Lubricants MAN up the inside into Redgate. And finally takes Michael Oliver in the GT Tyres MAN. Famous heavy haulage company owner. All problems there for John Newell. He's cut the chicane, I think. Yes, he's gone over the gravel. And as a result, Mark Taylor will get through into fourth place in the 81. Of course, road-going lorries limited to 56 miles an hour as we see a replay. This is Michael Oliver and David Jenkins, and wallop. Michael Oliver hits the back of Jenkins. That must have been the squeal of tyres we heard in the background. Get off, says David Jenkins. Here comes Ryan Smith out of Coppice for the final time, to add to his ever-increasing list of victories this year as he looks for a 7th consecutive Division 1 title in the Daimler Freightliner. Down towards the Roberts chicane for the last time. No problem at all for Flying Ryan. Over the line to take the checkered flag. Ryan Smith takes the win. Stuart Oliver will slide home in second. Simon Reed, putting him under pressure in the latter stages, just fails to get past him by 0.6 of a second. It's another win for Ryan Smith to extend his championship lead over Oliver and Reed. Mark Taylor takes fourth, the top MAN, as Ryan Smith power slides in celebration. Look at that, his way home. Here comes Luke Garrett in the orange MAN. He's going to extend his championship lead in Division 2 for the slightly less powerful trucks. He'll come across the line in 13th place overall. Brad Smith, despite a bit of damage from the first lap skirmish, will take second in that division. And Adam Bint, despite a grid penalty, coming through to take third. And here's your provisional results. Ryan Smith, the winner by nearly 4 seconds at the flag ahead of Stuart Oliver, who just held off Simon Reed to take that second place. Mark Taylor, the top MAN, home in fourth place, followed by the similar machines of John Newell, David Jenkins, Michael Oliver, Ricky Collett and Stephen Powell. Craig Reed rounding up the top 10 in the Iveco, then Tom O'Rourke and Simon Cole. His first race in Division 1 sees him net 12th place. Division 2 won by Luke Garrett ahead of Brad Smith and Adam Bint, and behind them were John Bowler, Craig Evans, a quiet race for Jock Borthwick, then Simon Faulkner, the final Division 1 finisher, Paul Rivette, his first drive with his new MAN, that's 20th place, and John Powell finished a lap down at the back of the field after his pit stop. Well, we can now head down to Parc Ferme, and our man on the ground is ready to talk to our truck racers and ready to entertain us as always, so we'll head down to Parc Ferme. Here's Pointy.
How are we, sir? Very good effort there, well done you.
We needed to use it as a bit of a test to see what the truck was doing, so I pushed early on, got a problem with the gear selector, it was leaking out fluid, but look, that's number one out of the way. Fastest lap win, you can't get any better, so you know, fantastic. The competitors are all up the game, everybody's fast. I don't know what happened from behind.
I'd say it was pretty clean out there from a spectator's point of view. I mean, we didn't see any red flags. Redgate went very cleanly, which is a shocking thing, really. I think a lot of the spectators expect to see a little bit of slap and tickle on that first bend.
Because everybody's up the game, and you know, everybody's driving standards are improved, and let's see what they think about tomorrow's reverse grid.
Great to hear from Pointy down there. Thanks very much indeed. We'll have the grid for you shortly for our second truck race of the weekend. This race sponsored by Midlands Truck and Van, the approved Mercedes-Benz commercial vehicle dealership for the West Midlands and Shropshire. Locations across Birmingham, Coventry and Wolverhampton, offering new and used van and truck sales and after-sales solutions, including 24-hour parts and servicing. So thanks to Midlands Truck and Van for sponsoring this next race. The grid reads as follows. It's set by the second quickest time in the qualifying session for each truck this morning. And it's Ryan Smith who is on pole, number one, alongside the 89 of Simon Reed in the Iveco. Second row, number 7, Stuart Oliver, and 18, John Newell. Row 3, 69, David Jenkins, and number 81 of Mark Taylor. Fourth row, Ricky Collett, number 95, and 12, Michael Oliver. The fifth row, we've got number 86, which is Tom O'Rourke, and number 3, Steve Powell. Row 6, 68, Craig Reed, and number 41, Simon Cole, and 92, Simon Faulkner rounds out Division 1. The Division 2 trucks headed up by their earlier winner and championship leader, number 42, Luke Garrett, alongside 5 of Adam Bintz. Next row, number 6, John Powell, involved in a collision with Brad Smith at the start of the first race at the old hairpin, but they managed to continue. Brad Smith starts alongside him. Then John Bowler and Craig Evans, and finally Paul Rivett and Jock Borthwick round out the grid. They start to rise from the Division 1 trucks. Watch for the lights. The pack is unleashed, and here we go. Good charge down the outside there. Look at Stephen Powell in the number 3. Trying to move up on the outside as they head down to Redgate, side by side between the 2 front row, and Ricky Collett tucked in on the inside further back. It's Ryan Smith who just about holds the lead ahead of Simon Reed. Stuart Oliver on the inside a bit sideways. John Newell trying to go round the outside. The charge from Stephen Powell didn't work, unfortunately. He's stuck there on the wider line as they charge towards the Craner curves for the first time. Smith leads, Reed second, Oliver third. David Jenkins moving up onto the shoulder of John Newell. He's going to get the inside line for the old hairpin, goes through into 4th place. Good start by David Jenkins. Next in the order, it's Mark Taylor. Everybody round okay so far. Here come the Division 2 boys. It's Luke Garrett who leads the way from Brad Smith. John Powell in third. No collision this time, fortunately. John Bowler behind them. Simon Cole and Simon Faulkner being left behind a little by the other Division 2 trucks. A new truck for Simon Cole. Simon Faulkner, a relative newcomer to racing. Simon Reed chasing Ryan Smith for the lead. He's only had a couple of Division 1 wins in his time in the sport, as Simon in the Iveco. Ricky Collett under fire there from his brother Craig Reed as they head into the exhibition straight down towards the Robert chicane for the first time. There's Simon Faulkner. We look for the Division 2 leaders further back. It should be Luke Garrett in the orange MAN leads. The Division 1 leaders already coming through the chicane, complete their first lap. Simon Faulkner making a move on Simon Cole to take 12th place away. It is Simon Reed who's across the line in first place. He's got ahead of Ryan Smith. Great move there coming out of the chicane. Stuart Oliver having a go as well. And Stephen Powell a bit slow off the chicane there. He's got Ricky Collett up behind him. Simon Cole pulling into the pits. He's got a problem. Your leader is Luke Garrett in Division 2 ahead of Brad Smith and John Powell. John Bowler is in 4th place, but has Simon Reed been able to hold his lead there? With 2 races in 1 effectively, it's hard to know where to look. Ryan Smith's got a problem. Ryan Smith's slowing down. So that's why he was slow off the chicane. Ryan Smith in trouble. Oh, Brad Smith under fire. That's John Powell. Now, they've already clashed once today. Hope they don't do so again. Here they come up into McLean's. John Powell having a look. Gets the tighter line, but Smith in the Unity Recovery truck is there. Hold second. David Jenkins right with Stuart Oliver now for 2nd place. Here's the battle further back. Stephen Powell getting past Ricky Collett. He's got to head there down the straight into, well, I think his 7th place. They lean on each other through Redgate, being egged on by the show trucks from the infield with their air horns. That's a feature you only get at Convoy in the Park. It's Craig Reed and Tom O'Rourke behind them. Oh, there's Ryan Smith's truck parked up by Starkey's Bridge. Stuart Oliver still holding 2nd place, but it's going to be a win for the man from Stoke in the Reed Freight Iveco Stralis. Here they come up towards the checkered flag. It's a win for Simon Reed in the 89. 2nd goes to Stuart Oliver. 3rd for David Jenkins. John Newell takes 4th. And Mark Taylor is 5th. Here come Division 2 towards the line. Oh, look at John Powell up the inside. He's going to try and take Brad Smith for 2nd place. They bounce off each other and they lock up under braking. This is going to be interesting. Which way are they going to go? Over the gravel? Excuse me, says Brad Smith. The win's going to go to Luke Garrett. And Brad Smith is going to hold 2nd place rather robustly there through the last chicane. John Bowler will take 4th, and then Paul Rivett. And the rest of them come home. So that's, I think, 2-0 between Brad Smith and John Powell. But it's Simon Reed who wins Division 1 ahead of Oliver, Jenkins, Newell and Taylor. Hopefully once the trucks are back in Parc Fermé, we will hear from Pointy talking to a few of them.
Come on over. Hi team, hi drivers. How are we? Fantastic effort. What a result, eh? Well, Stuart Oliver, what happened to you out there?
I'm getting on in time. I've got to just take it easy, you know. I can't keep up with these. I was going to say young lads, but I don't know whether what he is. You can't tell what he is, can you?
Yeah, I mean, and Simon Reed, obviously you two guys very close behind Ryan Smith. Did either of you see what might have caused him to drop back so early on in the race?
Simon pushed him off.
Troublemaker Michael Oliver.
I think he's peaked.
Is he peaked?
I think Ryan has peaked.
Is that it? Oh, you heard it here first. That sounds like fighting talk to me, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. But of course, Simon, fantastic result for you, slipping in there. How's it? Your truck's on fire. It's incredible.
Yeah, just driving it, pal. Just cracking on and.
Unfortunately, it isn't on fire.
It's not on fire.
No, you have to use a
it's doing
different phrase.
Very well.
It's going very fast.
Going very fast. Okay, yeah. Okay. It is fire, but it is not on fire. Very important tense there, ladies and gentlemen. Right, that's all from us down here at Parc Ferme. As you can see, spirits are high with loads more racing left to do this weekend. Let's have fun this evening with some live music and. Yes, I'm bold. Well done, thank you. And some charity pig racing. Thanks for joining us down here at Donington Parc Ferme.
Well, truck racers full of fun as ever. Pig racing. I've seen everything now. Okay, trucks coming to the grid then, ready for their rolling start for race number 3. This will be a 15-minute race, their third of the weekend. The grid based on the results of race 1 from yesterday, with the top 8 in each division reversed. Let's have a look who we've got there. Ricky Collett, number 95 in his MAN, starts on pole alongside the number 12 of Michael Oliver. Second row, former champion David Jenkins, number 69 with his MAN, and number 18, the similar machine of John Newell. Row 3, 81 Mark Taylor alongside winner of race 2 yesterday, number 89 Simon Reed. And the fourth row, 2 men with 16 championships between them. Stuart Oliver, number 7, has been British champion 10 times, European champion once as well. And Ryan Smith, number 1, the current 6-time consecutive Division 1 champion in the Daimler Freightliner. Going for title number 7 this year. Row 5, number 3, Stephen Powell, and 68 of Craig Reed. Row 6, we've got number 86, Tom O'Rourke, and 92, Simon Faulkner, and 41, Simon Cole. Good to have him back out this weekend, no longer in a Mercedes, now in his MAN. Starts from the back of Division 1. Then there's a gap, and we've got the slightly less powerful Division 2 trucks. Again, the top 8 reversed from that race 1 yesterday. Number 6, John Powell, front of the grid in his DAF, alongside 22 of Paul Rivets. Then we've got 32, Jock Borthwick with his MAN alongside the number 10 of Craig Evans. 14, John Bowler starts alongside the 5 of Adam Bint. Hopefully he's there. He missed race 2 and some problems yesterday. And number 16, Brad Smith, and Luke Garrett, who we just heard from, the Division 2 Championship leader, double winner yesterday, rounds out the grid. The Renault Magnum from Hexagon Leasing pulls into the pit lane. Ricky Collett and Michael Oliver lead the Division 1 grid away. The red lights are on at the moment. They go out now, and we're underway. And a super start down the outside by John Newell in the number 18 MAN. It's going to be 3 wide on the run to Redgate. That's never going to work. John Newell up the outside of Ricky Collett, and Michael Oliver is going to be squeezed in the middle. A bit of push and shove in there. Newell hanging on to the outside of Ricky Collett, who goes sideways. Up the outside comes one of the Reeds in the Iveco there, and somehow I think they've all made it round. Who's going to take the lead as they come down the Craner curves? And they're still side by side. Look at this. John Newell, I think, has just got his nose in front. Ricky Collett sticking to the inside. You're not getting past me, he says. And look at David Jenkins up the outside. What a terrific start to this first truck race of the day. Collett leads it. Jenkins up to second. Michael Oliver gives John Newell a bash up the back coming out of the old hairpin. My goodness, what a frantic start. They head their way through. We concentrate on Division 1 for the moment. Division 2 will be coming through shortly down towards the old hairpin, but it's Ricky Collett who's got the lead in Division 1. Second place is number 69 of David Jenkins. He went for broke around the outside into the old hairpin and it came off. Third place is Newell, then Michael Oliver, Mark Taylor, Stuart Oliver, Simon Reed, and Ryan Smith still stuck in 8th place in the number 1. Well, Ricky Collett, it's been a while since he's led a race in this championship. He's had a few engine problems, as we said, this year with his MAN. Only completed a couple of races at Thruxton last time out. Where are the Division 2 trucks? They're further back, being led by John Powell in the number 6, the slightly less powerful machines, as David Jenkins runs wide out of the chicane. Now he cuts across to the outside to defend from John Newell in the number 18. Next there is the number 12 of Michael Oliver. That's Taylor, Stuart Oliver, Reed, Smith, Stephen Powell, Craig Reed. Tom O'Rourke's got up to speed now ahead of Simon Cole and Simon Faulkner. They swing their way through Redgate for the second time. Lead is with Ricky Collett by just 0.2 of a second over David Jenkins, who's ready to attack as they come down to the old hairpin for the second time. Tricky circuit to overtake on in these big rigs. Is Donington. Jenkins out onto the grass as they come through the old hairpin. He's held it together. Get a sensation of the speed as they head down the straight. Who does that belong to? Somebody's lost a wheel arch there. That gets blown up into the front of Brad Smith's truck, I think. A little bit of smoke there possibly from Craig Evans. Was it just steam coming off the water-cooled brakes? Yep, Brad Smith's collected that wheel arch. Look, a bit of extra attachment to the front of the Unity recovery truck. Just over 10.5 minutes of this race remaining. Now David Jenkins tries to get alongside. The Digraph Transport MN, a spinner in the background. That's one of the Reeds going off. That's Simon Reed, and the 89's hit the tyre wall. Now, is he tangled with somebody else there? Yeah, somebody else off in the smoke. I think it might be... let's see what happened there. Watch the background. Simon Reed spins. I think he clipped to the inside of the chicane there, and Stephen Powell had nowhere to go. Wallop into the tyre wall. Fence at the chicane, and David Jenkins has taken the lead in Division 1. He must have done that down the exhibition straight in the number 69 truck ahead of Ricky Collett in the 95. All this battling is allowing John Powell to clear off in front, and Luke Garrett's getting impatient. Now he goes 2 wheels onto the grass there, coming into Schwantz curve. He goes through. John Bowler in the Union flag livery for the DAF behind them. Here comes John Bowler up the inside, trying to take third into Coppice. Just enough room there, I think. Incredible sight they make, these race trucks. They're leaning on each other. Look at this coming out of Coppice now. Bowler and Borthwick. And the number 14 is just about going to get through, followed by Craig Evans, who's got the inside line for the chicane, but the yellow flags are still out there. So Craig Evans side by side with Borthwick. Was that a pass under yellows? I fear it may be. He may get a penalty for that. Over the line they go. David Jenkins in the clear, then it's Collett. And here comes Ryan Smith. I said he caught Stuart Oliver. Oliver's going for John Newell on the outside. Collett holds that second place. Now Smith back to the inside. He sells the dummy to Stuart Oliver there. They're two side by side, the two bonneted trucks. All over the back of John Newell. And the two men with 16 British titles between them are side by side into the Craner curve. Stuart Oliver's not going to give way to Ryan Smith. They're deadly rivals, these two. And Oliver's just about held it there. Smith has to duck in behind as they head down to the old hairpin. Behind him, Michael Oliver and Mark Taylor are not far away either. Jenkins is clearing off in front. Newell's got through into second, Oliver third, Smith fourth. So Ricky Collett got forced wide, I think, down the straight into Redgate there. David Jenkins on his local circuit here at Donington, the former British champion. Stuck in the pack in yesterday's races, but no problem for him this time. He's coming up to take the victory. Checkered flag is in sight, and David Jenkins wins race 3 of the weekend. It's going to be John Newell in second place in the MAN, and Stuart Oliver will take third. Meantime, here comes our Division 2 leader. He's caught Simon Faulkner in his number 92 Iveco in Division 1. Now everybody else was battling behind. And as I predicted there, Luke Garrett has run out of time to catch the DAF of number 6, John Powell, who leads all the way in Division 2, takes the win. Luke Garrett second in the division. And third place in Division 2, it should be John Bowler, number 14. David Jenkins the winner by nearly 5 seconds in the end ahead of John Newell, his best result of the season in second place. And Stuart Oliver completes the podium. Ryan Smith has to be content with fourth ahead of Michael Oliver. Ricky Collett having run second for much of the way, dropping down into 6th place. Mark Taylor in 7th ahead of Craig Reed. That'll secure pole for Craig Reed for race 5. Then Tom O'Rourke, Simon Cole and Simon Faulkner rounding out the Division 1 finishers. John Powell, a clear winner in Division 2 in 12th place overall, I should say. 3.5 seconds clear of Luke Garrett. Craig Evans takes third in Division 2, just defeating John Bowler. Then Brad Smith, Jock Borthwick, Paul Rivett and Adam Bint, because we lost Simon Reed and Stephen Powell in a tangle at the chicane. Well, in a few minutes' time we should be back underway here on BARC TV at Convoy in the Park 2022 at Donington Park, with race 4 of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. This race sponsored by GT Tyre UK, the official tyre partners for British truck racing in 2022. Race number 4 of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. The grid set by race 2 yesterday. Top 8 in each division reversed. It's Craig Reed, number 68, who will be on pole alongside the 12 of Michael Oliver, because number 3 Stephen Powell has withdrawn after his crash in the first race today earlier on. The second row therefore will be Mark Taylor and John Newell, number 81 and 18. The third row is 69 David Jenkins, number 7 Stuart Oliver, and the fourth row 86 Tom O'Rourke and 95 Ricky Collett, because Simon Reed has also withdrawn after that tangle into the barriers in the first race earlier on today. So no 89, no number 3. The fifth row is still number 41 Simon Cole and 92 Simon Faulkner, and Ryan Smith, number 1, starts in the back of Division 1. He failed to finish in the second race yesterday with a technical problem, so he has to start from the back of Division 1. Then we move on to Division 2. Number 10 Craig Evans and 32 Jock Borthwick head up Division 2 ahead of number 22 Paul Rivette, who we just heard from in the Napa truck, and number 14 John Bowler. 6 John Powell, the winner earlier on today, and 16 Brad Smith, and 42 Luke Garrett starts alongside number 5 Adam Bint. He missed the second race yesterday with some problems, so he's back out from the rear of the grid. Power about to be unleashed. These 13,000cc engines. The revs are up, we're ready to rumble once again. Red lights go out now and we're underway. Good start by David Jenkins, trying to squeeze down the inside 2 wheels on the grass for him. Craig Reed still side by side with Michael Oliver as they head into the first turn. Ryan Smith's already made up a couple of places. Further back it's Craig Reed who has the lead. John Newell will go through into second place on the inside. Michael Oliver and his dad Stuart being hung out to dry around the outside. Ryan Smith cutting to the inside, trying to attack. There's Mark Taylor and Stuart Oliver goes off, wallop straight into the barrier. Big accident for Stuart Oliver. 4 into 1 did not go there. The tyre barrier is down. I'm almost certain that's going to be a red flag. Big incident there for Stuart Oliver. Let's try and have another look at that. Mark Taylor leaned on Michael Oliver and it was Stuart who ran out of room on the outside. The truck slams into the tyre barrier. Big impact there. Let's hope Stuart Oliver's okay. But that's almost certainly going to be a red flag. Look at the state of Stuart Oliver's truck. That is almost certainly the end of his weekend. We'll drop in further back behind Ryan Smith in the points. The race still going on at the moment. They're up at Coppice Corner. Everybody else still going. Ryan Smith's been able to make good progress up the order. He's up to about 4th place, but yes, the red flag is coming out. Look at the state of Stuart Oliver's Volvo. Okay, yes, he's out of the truck, he's all right. Surveying the damage to that Volvo. That is definitely the end of Stuart Oliver's weekend. And we hope that that's not the end of his season, because that truck is wrecked. Stuart Oliver does appear to be okay, that's the main thing. See it again. They came into the top of the Craner curves. 3 into 1 on the outside didn't go, and wallop. Big shunt for Stuart Oliver. And here we go. Race 4 of the weekend for the trucks gets underway. Great start by Michael Oliver in the number 12. He'll take the lead into the first corner. David Jenkins waiting patiently in the pit lane to join in. Michael Oliver leads John Newell into the first corner. A poor start by Craig Reed from pole position. He's down to 3rd in the Iveco, the reigning Division 2 champion. There's contact again there. Mark Taylor and Ricky Collett. Simon Faulkner's onto the gravel further back. I think they've survived that. Mark Taylor just seems to be having issues getting around the Craner curves, doesn't he? That's opened up the field and it's allowed Ryan Smith through into 5th place behind Tom O'Rourke. It's Oliver who leads, Newell 2nd, Reed 3rd, then Tom O'Rourke. Ryan Smith was able to get through on the inside as everybody else ran wide there. Meantime, Division 2 is being led by Brad Smith in the number 16. He's made a good start ahead of John Bowler and Luke Garrett. There's David Jenkins lurking at the back. He won't be there for long. He's got to make his way through the Division 2 trucks first. It's Michael Oliver, number 12, upholding family honour now with Stuart out for the day. Leads the way from John Newell, the Yorkshireman, in number 18 up towards Coppice for the first time. Craig Reed in the 68 is 3rd, and Ryan Smith attacking Tom O'Rourke for 4th place. Scotsman runs a bit wide out of Coppice corner. Smith will try and power his way through on the inside. Mark Taylor attacking Ricky Collett further back, looking to make up for his mistake at the top of the Craner curves. Michael Oliver just about holds the lead. Ryan Smith going through into 4th place further back as Mark Taylor gets it sideways under braking. Nearly clips the back of Ricky Collett. Division 2 in the background being led by Brad Smith ahead of John Bowler, Luke Garrett and Craig Evans. Side by side out of the chicane. There's bits of bodywork flying around there. Michael Oliver's got the inside for Redgate. He just about manages to hold the lead ahead of John Newell. Then 92 of Simon Faulkner with his Iveco, and then this is the Division 2 battle with David Jenkins in the middle of it. Luke Garrett all over the back of John Bowler trying to take second place away. Jenkins has got ahead of Craig Evans now. He's got 3 Division 2 trucks ahead of him as Luke Garrett tries to get down the inside there of John Bowler. I don't think there was quite room there. And off goes John Newell. John Newell into the gravel at the old hairpin. So we've lost the number 18. Ryan Smith has done the fastest lap of the race and he's having a go at Craig Reed, who says, no, you don't, coming out of the chicane. Forces him onto the grass. Across the line they go. Stephen Powell having joined him in Division 1, and Simon Cole this weekend. So Stephen Powell out after damage earlier on, and this time Smith does exactly what he was trying to do a lap ago, gets the better exit from the chicane, and through he goes. Simon Faulkner, he's on the same lap as these two. He's under no obligation to let them through or anything like that. He can race fairly for his position. But Brad Smith will be thinking, I'm leading Division 2, I need to get past you and get away from Luke Garrett. You'll see the Division 1 truck is slightly quicker in a straight line though. Brad Smith is going to try and outbrake him, I think, into the chicane here. He may have him on the inside. Yes, he's got the overlap. Luke Garrett is going to follow him though, because yes, Simon Faulkner moves to the outside and Garrett's gone through as well. At least these two now free in clear space to battle. Meanwhile, Ryan Smith has caught Michael Oliver. We didn't see if the last lap board went out that time to the Division 1 boys. I don't think it did. We'll wait and see as they come through this time. We'll stay with the Division 1 battle because Ryan Smith is ready to attack. He's going to have a go as they come up into Coppice. No, you don't, says Michael Oliver. Cuts across to the inside and holds the place. Can he hold it into the chicane? Now, are we going to see the checkered flag this time? As I said, we didn't see if the last lap board went out last time. And look at Craig Reed closing up as well. And there's contact. Ryan Smith hits the back of Michael Oliver. That shredded the front end of the number 1 truck. Oliver moves to the inside. I think it is going to be checkered flag this time. Down into the chicane they come. Here's Michael Oliver going to hang on. Craig Reed's up there with them as well. He could snatch second place here with a bit of luck. Bodywork everywhere on the line. The checkered flag is at the ready. Ryan Smith pulls out. He hits the back of Michael Oliver again. But Oliver's going to hang on to take the win. A bruising encounter there. Oliver wins it by 0.26 of a second. Craig Reed is third. The top 3 covered by just over half a second. Ricky Collett a fine 4th. His best result of the season. Then Tom O'Rourke and Mark Taylor. What about Division 2? Can Brad Smith hang on? There's bits of bodywork all over the circuit. Here comes Luke Garrett trying to challenge for victory into the final corner. But the Midland Caliper Centre and Unity Recovery, number 16 of Brad Smith, I think he's going to hang on to become our 3rd winner from 4 races in Division 2 this weekend. Here he comes over the line. He just holds off Luke Garrett by 0.3 of a second. Combined winning margins on the 2 divisions of just over half a second. 3rd in Division 2. We'll wait and see. I think John Bowler has got a penalty, so 3rd is going to be Craig Evans. We'll confirm the provisional result then. Michael Oliver the winner by 0.26 of a second over Ryan Smith, and Craig Reed was only 0.28 further back in 3rd. Ricky Collett, his best result of the year in 4th, ahead of Tom O'Rourke in 5th. 6th was Mark Taylor. Then David Jenkins coming through from a pit lane start for 7th ahead of Simon Cole. Brad Smith in 9th overall wins Division 2 ahead of Luke Garrett. They were ahead of Simon Faulkner. It took some time to get past him. Then Craig Evans next 3rd in Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint, Paul Rivett. The penalised John Bowler takes 15th. The other finishers Jock Borthwick and John Powell, because we lost John Newell down at the old hairpin. I think Pointy has managed to get hold of the man involved in the incident, Stuart Oliver. So we can hand down to Pointy shortly, who can hopefully talk to the man involved in that incident, Stuart Oliver, see how he is.
Well, quite an interesting start to the second race of the day. Stuart Oliver, what happened there, buddy?
Yeah, I had a great start. You know, I had rolling start as they always are, and I managed to find a gap down the outside into the red gate, and I thought, well, we're going well here. And I got through and up behind Michael on the exit of red gate, but got a good drive off there because I took the speed through the corner. I thought, oh, we're going well here. And Michael was mid-track, so I thought, oh, we may as well just have a go around the outside. And as I was just up halfway alongside him, I saw smoke from the other side front corner of Michael, which was, I think it was maybe Mark. Mark had slipped across, hit Michael. Michael had nowhere to go other than hit me. Once my front wheel was on the grass, I was a passenger, you know.
So all that power that you carried through the corner transitioned into too much power for the accident that was happening at the time.
That's right. Yeah, I was top gear flat out, and you know, I probably up towards sort of 90 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour, but you know, it just straight across the tyres just flew up in the air and the concrete just bang, and that was it, spun round. And but I'm all right. Live to fight another day, so we just got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all waiting. We saw you hit the tyre wall over there, and we were all waiting to see, is he going to make it out okay? Leona, I mean, Stuart Oliver's better half. What was going through your mind at the time?
When I saw the accident, I thought, no, that's okay. And then I was saying, is he out? Is he out? And then people were saying, yeah, he's out. Then I saw the course ambulance go out, and I thought, oh, that's all right. But then I saw the proper ambulance go out, and my heart just sank. And I actually made it from the corner up to the medical centre 1 minute behind the ambulance.
Quicker than the trucks.
It was horrible, absolutely horrible.
I mean, I don't think it was for Stuart, the ambulance. It was whoever caused the crash that they were thinking, we better send an ambulance.
Credit to the circuit and the medical team. It's procedure, you can understand that, but I had him when it happened. I said to the boys on the radio, I'm all right, everything's, I'm fine. The truck's not very good. I didn't use them exact words, but
the truck is not well.
The truck is not well, yes. And I just said, well, I'm all right. That was the thing, and I couldn't get the belts undone for whatever reason. That the belts must lock or something, and I couldn't get the belts. And the marshal came to the window, I gave him the thumbs up, but I just couldn't get out. And then eventually I got out, and I was fine. I was absolutely fine. And
I wasn't.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, you can imagine.
I had tears in my eyes when I got up there, and they said he's okay, and it was like, oh.
Oh, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Next up, it is the final truck race of the weekend, the British Truck Racing Championship, a slightly reduced distance of 10 minutes. This race sponsored by Taylor's Transport, based in the East Midlands, so at their local venue of Donington today. The grid for the truck race should read like this, based on the results of the race this morning, race 3 on the programme, but with the top 8 in each division reversed. So we should have Craig Reed, number 68, on pole, alongside the Taylor's Transport truck of number 81, Mark Taylor. Wouldn't it be fitting if he could get his first win of the season here? Second row, 95, Ricky Collett, and number 12, Michael Oliver. Third row, number 1, Ryan Smith. We won't have Stuart Oliver after his truck was damaged in an accident earlier on. We hope John Newell is there, number 18 on row 4. He pulled up in the race earlier on. Number 69, David Jenkins, was our winner of race 3. The fifth row, 86, Tom O'Rourke, alongside 41, Simon Cole. The sixth row, 92, Simon Faulkner. I don't think number 3, Stephen Powell, is going to be there after his damage in the race this morning. We know Simon Reed has withdrawn, his truck too badly damaged to continue. Then we've got Division 2, number 5, Adam Bintz, alongside 22, Paul Rivett. 32, Jock Borthwick, and number 14, John Bowler. The 10 of Craig Evans, alongside 42 of Luke Garrett. And Brad Smith and John Powell round out the grid. Brad Smith given a grid penalty after overtaking under yellow flags in the earlier race. Here they come then towards the chicane. The Taylor's Transport Volvo pace truck leads Craig Reed and Mark Taylor. Michael Oliver tucked in there on the second row alongside Ricky Collett. Sometimes it's just seen Ricky in the winner's circle. Pace truck pulls into pit lane then. Watch for the lights. 10 minutes of truck racing, the final truck race of the weekend here at Convoy in the Park is go. Great start by Craig Reed, great start by Michael Oliver up the outside as well. We'll try and go toe-to-toe with Mark Taylor into Redgate for the first time. It's Craig Reed who's going to hold the lead in the Iveco. They lean on each other for second place. Ricky Collett's there in fourth. Trying to get round the outside is John Newell. Ryan Smith is rather caught in the middle in the Daimler Freightliner. He's trying to get round the outside now of Ricky Collett, but it's Craig Reed who's got the lead. Mark Taylor on the inside of Michael Oliver. Two trucks side by side down the Craner curves. That's brave. And I think Michael Oliver, yes, has got his way through into second place. Collett is fourth. David Jenkins finds his route blocked slightly there by John Newell. Ryan Smith in the middle. Division 2 come through next. I think it's Adam Bintz who has held his lead in Division 2. There's Simon Faulkner at the back of Division 1. Craig Reed who leads in the number 68, the Iveco Stralis, chased by Michael Oliver with the shaken up grid and a couple of favourites sadly absent. This could be a very open race indeed. Down the right hander at Coppice they go. Craig Reed hanging on in front. They head up towards the straight, the chicane at the end of the exhibition straights for the first time. Michael Oliver, number 12, looking for his second win of the day. Craig Reed looking for his first ever Division 1 win. And Ricky Collett still holding off Ryan Smith for 4th place. This is good stuff. Look at Michael Oliver sideways there out of the chicane, really pushing hard as he tries to catch Craig Reed. Ricky Collett dropping back slightly there on the outside. Ryan Smith up alongside him. Mark Taylor still there in 3rd place. Fair bit of smoke being kicked up there, and through it comes the number 5 Adam Bint. Here's Division 2. This is what happened on the first lap of the old hairpin. Whoops, Paul Rivett digs a divot in the dirt. A quartet of MANs, David Jenkins, Ricky Collett. Here comes John Newell on the inside. He'll take Ricky Collett into the chicane. Tom O'Rourke behind them. Somewhere in all that smoke, I think there might be a truck parked up at the old hairpin. Now what's happened here? Oh, that's the leader! Oh, Craig Reed's gone straight on. He's going to hit the tyre wall. And disappears in his own smoke screen. What's happened there? Craig Reed just went straight on coming out of the old hairpin, and we've lost our Division 1 leader. Bang goes his first win. It's still Michael Oliver from Ryan Smith. Here they come. Now is Ryan Smith going to be able to pull alongside here, coming towards Redgate? Michael Oliver is defending. David Jenkins trying to get through into 3rd place. Not sure what Craig Reed's doing there, practicing sign language, I think. As Ryan Smith switches to the inside on Michael Oliver. No, you don't, says Michael Oliver. Closes the door. This is brilliant stuff. Mark Taylor in 3rd place. Smith to the inside, bash into the side of Michael Oliver. Side by side again down the Craner curve. Something's got to give here, and that's something I thought was going to be Ryan Smith down the Craners. I thought he was going to spin out there. Somehow Michael Oliver's held his lead. This is allowing Taylor, Jenkins and Newell to close up as well. Goes to the inside. They're still leaning on each other down the straight towards the chicane. Surely Smith's going to get the inside line this time into the chicane. He has got the inside. It's a question of who's going to break the latest. Ryan Smith goes through and finally through into the lead. We're on the last lap now, and this is for the lead in Division 2. Luke Garrett has caught Adam Bint. So we've got 2 battles for the lead in this one. John Newell still going ahead of Ricky Collett, but it's Flying Ryan out in front. He won race 1 yesterday. He retired in race 2 with a loss of oil pressure. Race 3 went to David Jenkins. It was Michael Oliver who took the win in race 4, and Simon Reed. I thought we might just make it 5 winners out of 5 races here at Convoy in the Park, but it's going to be Ryan Smith who will keep his championship lead, I think, at the end of this weekend. He's going to take a double into the chicane for the final time. I think Michael Oliver's just about going to hold off David Jenkins for second, but it's Flying Ryan who comes in to take his 2nd win of the weekend. What a weekend for Michael Oliver. He holds 2nd place. 3rd, it's David Jenkins. Mark Taylor 4th. John Newell is 5th. Then Ricky Collett, Tom O'Rourke. What's Ryan Smith going to do in celebration? A full power slide through Redgates. Beautifully done. They're still at it in Division 2. Is Adam Bint going to hang on? The fans' favourite ahead of the championship leader. This is going to be close. What's Luke Garrett going to do? Is he going to try and slipstream him on the runs to the line? He's not going to get the chance, I don't think. Here comes Adam Bint. Garrett will try and get up alongside. Almost a photo finish. But Adam Bint wins Division 2 by 0.3 of a second. So 4 different winners in Division 1. In Division 2, the first race went to Luke Garrett. Second race was also Garrett. Race 3, it was John Powell. In race 4, it was Brad Smith. And now in race 5, Adam Bint. So 8 different winners across our 2 divisions this weekend. Quite brilliant weekend of truck racing. The provisional result as follows then. Ryan Smith, the winner by just under 3 seconds ahead of Michael Oliver, who just held off David Jenkins at the line. Mark Taylor 4th ahead of John Newell, Ricky Collett and Tom O'Rourke. Adam Bint, a good 8th overall to win Division 2, ahead of Luke Garrett by 0.3 of a second. 3rd in Division 2 was John Bowler, then Brad Smith, John Powell and Paul Rivett in what's left of the number 22 truck. The 92 kept going despite slowing up mid-race of Simon Faulkner for 14th place. Craig Evans completed the top 15, and the other finisher 2 laps down in what's left of the number 32 was Jock Borthwick. Sadly, we lost Craig Reed while leading the race into the gravel at the old hairpin. I think something broke on the 68 truck legs. He just seemed to go straight on. Right, I think Pointy has collared the drivers down there in Parc Ferme, and we can talk to some of them following that fantastic last truck race of the weekend.
Well, welcome to Parc Ferme. Sorry I wasn't here earlier on today, but what a finish for the crowds here at Donington Park, and of course you there at home watching live Ryan Smith, what a fantastic finish for the crowd. Coming from so far back, you battled every inch of that track.
I know I ruined that race. Fair play to Michael. You know, what happened to his dad, you know, none of us want to see, first of all, what happened to Stuart, but...
I think Michael did, that's why he did it.
Michael was like, you know, gutted. In the race before, he drove amazing in the race before, and that race then, you know, he drove really like he'd, you know,
the battle was there. I mean, he kept you held back for so long, but a fantastic result nonetheless. Dave Jenkins as well, so well done, and a sterling effort. You were right on the tail of Michael Oliver for the second half of that race, looking for every possible inch to take. You know, surely that must have been a great race for both of you.
It was a great race. We just needed another 5 minutes, didn't we?
That would have been nice. Yeah.
When the lads were on the radio at the start, don't forget it's only a 10-minute race. It couldn't be a 10-minute race this morning when I was in the lead, could it? You know. So no, great way to end the weekend. It's such a shame that we've had the damage this weekend, and for those teams that have got to take those trucks home, we've all been there, and absolutely, you know, my heart goes out to those boys. But the racing and the crowd and the event has been fantastic again.
That is absolutely brilliant. Well, well done to both of you. We've got quite a few trophies to hand out.
I just thank all my sponsors for making it possible for us to be here, and to my team who've worked really hard.
They were all cheering very loudly for you. All the guys from Northside shouting out Ryan Smith in the paddock for that entire race. What's left of Stuart Oliver's truck over here, if you want to have a quick look at that, this is what a front end write-off at 90 miles an hour looks like, even with tyre walls there to protect the audience, obviously. Now, let's go and have a quick chat to Michael Oliver. Michael.
Hi, Pointy.
Michael.
Hi, Pointy.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
Mate, I'm so sorry I wasn't here earlier on.
It's all right. You all right,
Oh, he's took it now. That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
How was the race?
I'll go and sit back in the van.
It was really good.
Well, it was. It was really good to watch. Obviously, a fantastic result for you the race previous this afternoon, taking home the first place trophy.
It seems so long ago now.
It does, doesn't it? It's almost like I missed the beat.
I think you did though, didn't you?
A little bit, maybe.
Aye. Oh, well, as long as you're not getting paid for it.
Oh, no. Paid? What's that? Money for this? Just about cover diesel.
Oh, Flippin, to be honest, it's for the team. Flippin, we've had some terrible luck with Dad.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. I won that last race. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Yeah.
But no, got second here. I let Ryan pass. But
Obviously, it was nice of you to do that. He's had a bad weekend as well. It was nice of you to just do that for him.
oh, he gets one.
Yeah,
he gets one.
Just the one.
Just the one. He gets the one.
It was such a battle. I mean, we were watching on the big screen in the paddock, and the crowd were, oh! It was such a battle to watch. It was fantastic. The prowess, and it must have been so much pressure with him. The prowess. You heard it here. Prowess. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, he looked at least 2 laps for every possible gap past you, and you just kept shutting that door.
I can't mind how he got past us in the end. I think I dropped the
There
boo-boo somewhere.
was a little bit of contact looking at it from the outside.
He
Yeah.
battered us. He
Yeah,
battered us.
absolutely.
He battered him. Oh.
Smashed. He just pushed him out of the way.
No, I kind of complained if anything. It was spot on.
It was a great
enjoy the race. You can't win them all, can you?
Big thanks, first of all, to Ewan Dunlop and to Pointy down in Parc Fermé in the paddock. Thank you very much indeed to all of you for watching today. Just remains for me to say thank you very much once again to all the volunteer marshals, to the medical staff, recovery crews, and all the other officials from the British Automobile Racing Club for making this brilliant weekend possible. Thanks to all the drivers for their entertainment. Thanks to all their teams and mechanics for keeping the cars and trucks running. On behalf of Pointy, Ewan Dunlop and all our crews here, this is commentator Dave Goddard signing off here at Donington Park. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.